Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rage, and we are back today to break down the Mutants versus Zombies event that is actually coming up here in just a few days. And if you guys have been following my channel, you'll know that I typically like to do a breakdown video and the math involved, but it's actually, there's not going to be any math involved because it's a very, very straightforward event. However, I do want to bring to your attention some important key facts, especially if you guys are looking to capitalize on this event. So when I made my video yesterday, I did point out that this was actually going to be for tech gear and it's not going to be that important, but actually I was mistaken here because the tech gear is tied back to the actual Mutants versus Zombies event milestone, whereas the leaderboard associated with this has gear tier 20 pieces for skill-based characters actually. So let me show you once again just a quick little recap of what this event is going to entail, and then I'll talk about the details here. But you can see it's a very straightforward event. There's going to be the Battling and Alliance War. There's going to be earning these X Coin Payday orbs from the Source Satellite event. That's also tied back with this. If you have Daredevil Modern and Silver Sable, I believe 5 stars and above, you're going to be getting some pretty significant points to add here to the overall total, in addition to the spending of power cores, as well as if you have paid for the Daredevil Modern Diamond Worms. Those also are going to add some significant points. But big rewards being gear tier 19 pieces and the X coins, which we want to definitely be focused on. But remember, their leaderboard rewards has the diamonds for Scarlet Witch Zombie, which I'm not sure if you guys may or may not prioritize depending on if you use her in war. But more importantly, the gear tier 20 piece here, this is the one that you want to be paying attention to. And on top of that, the Storm's Tiara and as well as the X-Men badges, that's going to be adding to the monthly event here for more shards of Havoc if you've also built up the Starjammers team for your Crucible. So this is why this event is super duper easy, and there's not really going to be math involved here. Remember, with these events, you always want to be kind of setting yourself at a minimum standard, which is the bare minimum that you should be achieving for these events, especially when it adds to the monthly, right? So that's actually right there. You can see at 108,000 points, milestone 14, you get Storm's Tiara. Really, really good, right? And it's actually very, very achievable. If you scroll down here, even you just simply doing the war battles, it's going to get you 120,000 points. So there's going to be no issue getting the monthly item. Then at that point, it's really how much more do you want to add into your overall total? Because remember, there is a leaderboard component tied to this. So the Daredevil Modern Diamond Orbs, you have to pay for those. So that's out of the question for free-to-play folks like myself. Earning these X-Coin Payday or fragments, that's going to be from the Source Satellite event itself. So I am going to be covering that. I am going to be going through once again all the floors, but more importantly, I will be making new content on the newest floors, which is floor 51 to floor 60, as that's going to be what I'm going to be focused on in terms of just maximizing the potential points here. Aside from that, it's really blitzing with Daredevil Modern and as well as Silver Sable. If you have these characters at 5 stars, you're going to be getting some bonus points here. But even if you use power cores to get them, getting them from 3 stars to 5 stars, that's a significant amount. So probably not available for free-to-play folks like myself. But for those that spend, those of you that are getting the offers and the deals and whatnot with it, that's going to help you immensely for sure. And then as you can see there, you do actually get power cores as well tied back to this, as well as those Mutants versus Zombie milestone points wherever that is available. So that in a nutshell is the event, guys. So you can see many of us are going to have no issues reaching milestone 14 for the Storm's Tiara. But if you wanted to go beyond that, these other milestones, right, the one right next to it, milestone 15, right, there's an additional 3.5 million gold, there's 110,000 X coins, so that definitely looks enticing for sure. But then it's really going to be dependent on how much points are going to be in Source Satellite, and as well as how much you want to use in terms of power cores. For myself, I'm already coring 400 cores a day already because I'm doing my energy refresher campaign in ISO 8, so that's obviously going to help. You know, 400 basically 400 cores per day is 400 points per day, right? So that's, you can math it out like that. That's going to be, you know, 7 days, you know, 2,800 and so forth. So yeah, that's going to add up there. But in the meantime, we'll see how the Source Satellite actually gets structured in terms of points overall. I think milestone 15 is going to be very achievable for myself. That's kind of what I would recommend as on a personal level, guys. Having said that, you may actually want to double back now and see where you're going to be ranked among your colleagues and your peers, right? So in this case, now we can talk about the leaderboard event. So they have done a very, very good job in kind of expanding this now beyond even the top 10,000 players in the game if you're engaged in this event. As you can see, even the 10%, you're going to be getting the 5 of these encoded data and micro dots here. And these are gear tier 20 pieces that we need to be bringing up for our skill-based characters, right? So, yeah, that's where I would draw the line, guys. Take a look in terms of where you're going to be ranking after you finish Source Satellite and see if it's worth it to even use Power Cores. But for those that are spending, they're going to get a definitive advantage against us. And as you can see, only the top 4,000 players are going to be earning that that Diamond Witch, Scarlet Witch Zombie. So if that's what you're interested in, that's definitely you know, an opportunity if you're willing to spend there. But otherwise, I'm gonna see how well I do. I know I'm gonna be covering the newest floors for Sword. I'm gonna be just seeing, you know, where I'm gonna be landing after I'm done that, and then whether or not to use Power Course additionally. But I also want to save my resources because I am in HOARD mode right now for leaderboard events. So it is unfortunate in the sense that this week didn't have any kind of campaign energy involved, but now this gives us an opportunity to save and HOARD for the next week and a half to 2 weeks for the next leaderboard event. So I'm definitely you know, excited for that opportunity now that we have more chances here to save. So that's my game plan, guys. Just, you know, coming at it from a free-to-play angle and trying to maximize the resources I have, and at the same time doing what we can without spending, and still getting the most of what we can from these leaderboard events. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know what you're doing and what you're up to. I'm always eager to hear back. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.